Welcome back from that short break. You're still watching the Breakfast Club here on BTV. We get to stream live. That is on our app, the Victor Uganda app, but also on www.imc.ug. We are also on Azam TV, so you can catch us anywhere within East Africa. And of course, you can follow BTV and Dream TV on YouTube, TikTok, WhatsApp, and all the other platforms. My name is Bridget Stella, and I'm here with the doctor himself, who is hashtag journey to 100 years. My brother, my one and only. And of course, we always have jokes here and there, and he has been giving me a few tips on how to make my life better. But he's very enthusiastic about life, and there is none other than the doctor himself, Dr. Kawanda Matia Bagubi. I always struggle with that voice. How was work? Apparently, you're on the night shift.
Yeah, I had the night shift and I had to run for the show.
We appreciate you. Who are we? Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Now, of course, we are on the journey to
100 years.
Yes, and last week we introduced this topic and we were talking about basically what attributes to growth. And you told us about love in a home. You told us about the different dynamics between a mom and a father and how they would impact the growth of different genders. Did you know that the presence of a father in a home impacts the growth of a girl and how he grows to appreciate life and love in their marriage? Because apparently, according to Dr. Kabanda, marriage is a great attribution onto us growing old or living longer. Right? Do I have that
Yeah,
right?
true.
And of course, we had feeding was also the other thing. How you feed your toddler could also contribute to whether they get to live long or a short life. Today we continue, and I want us to start with this. When does growth stop?
When a child is born, of course, we shall talk when growth starts.
Yeah.
The moment fertilization takes place, growth begins. The zygote and the zygote made until the child is born at 9 months. Then the moment a child is born, growth increases. We have the growth plates, we have other different organs that have to develop. For example, did you know that the ovaries are already in a girl's body? They are just activated at a puberty stage, but they are already there. They are made during the time of the baby being formed. So the orgonias, it is after reaching the puberty stage that then they are mature, but they are born with them. But all that period of time until a girl is safe to have her first period, maybe 10 years or 12 years, they have always been existing, but now they have just developed.
Okay.
So yeah, they take time and then they develop. So girls usually at the age of 14, 15, they may not wish to change a lot of height, a lot of increase, and because they have reached at a maximum of their growth. But the boys may go on to at least 17, 18 years. At that age, they may increase in height, they may have other developments on them, which are not the same with the girls. So that's why some faith, when a girl gets their first period, they actually say that they are safe to get married. Because for them, they know the moment a girl gets her first period, then she's mature, she's getting closer to that. But after that period of time, we have development happening. That yes, a girl, she has started to have her periods, but she cannot even have kids, or she'll have issues if she goes to the labor ward to push at that point. Although she has already developed, her organs have already developed, the hormones are there for her to give birth to a kid. But now, the development is not yet there to see that she can accommodate the child and then push the child well.
Okay, so when you talk about growth, exactly what are we talking about? We are talking about height, is it?
Yeah, height is inclusive.
Okay.
Then you have organs in the body which are no longer growing as well. They have stopped. But then we have now development.
Okay.
Yeah, you realize that you may increase in your weight.
Yes.
That one is determined at any time. It can go on and come on, but there are things we can't change. That's the greatest example I can give you. I cannot change my height at this level that I'll grow unless I go for an operation. But at this level, you cannot improve your height.
Yeah.
You've reached a level where you can't improve your height. There are faces that we adopt that we cannot change anymore. When we were small boys, there are faces we had. When you grow, you change. But there's a time when that face will not change anymore. That is your looks, unless you go for plastic surgery, like how some people have done.
Okay.
There are levels your eye reaches, and there's nothing that's going to change in your eye. The only thing that's going to happen is maybe when you get exposed to the environmental factors or medications, then things are going to change. So what we mean is, yes, your height has stopped, but now you can improve the looks by gaining weight or losing weight. Okay, you can go to the gym. Development. Now that factor can be affected by many other things. Yes, maybe environmental factors, maybe genetic factors, now to increase from that period of time. But nothing more is changing within you and within you. The liver is not growing anymore. We have some other things like the heart is not growing anymore. We have reached now the maximum of growth, but development now starts. Okay. Now, when development starts, it also reaches a certain area, a certain period of time. The hormones will reduce being produced. For example, for the female at menopause, we don't have estrogen anymore. So they are not going their periods anymore. 40 to 45 years. Now development also stops. Now you're going to begin senescing, or old age. Now you're going to begin dying off. Your breasts are already falling down and sagging down. You're going to have issues with your blood vessels.
Before you take us to the old age, Mpola, let's talk about the development stage now. We want to know the differences, especially with girls and boys, male and female. That development, 14. Of course, at 14 and 15 that you've mentioned for girls, I'm wondering, this is the time that this is puberty. Yeah. This is the age for puberty. What is happening and how can someone manage this stage of their lives so that they can attribute to them growing older and longer life?
That stage is really, really important, especially for the females, because a lot is changing in their lives. One, they're going now to have hormonal interactions. Remember, when they go for their periods, there is a surge in estrogen. So they have feelings come on during this period of time. There are things that are changing that have not been with them. So they need a lot of attention here because they don't understand what's going within their bodies. And some of them actually have periods and they hide it from their parents because they think it is an issue with them and maybe it's not acceptable. Then we are having issues which are happening in mature women, which they have not even learned how to handle until now. That a mature woman is married home, but when she's unhappy, the husband knows there are going to be emissions home. So they cannot actually control that. Now remember, she's 12 years or 14 years now. These things are changing in her life. She's going to start padding. She's going to start living with this bleeding when she goes to the public. The hormones that are a lot of things are happening in the girl's life, which are not happening in the boy's life. Yes. Now, this stage is one of the stages where people say that girls are more mature than boys because now their problem solution, there is a research I was reading now, their way of life to solve problems starts earlier when now they begin to have these periods. Okay. They also need to handle the shame which comes with it. So their minds now are developed to grow better than the man, because the man is not going to face any challenges apart from looking for money, maybe a deep voice or beards, which we welcome with joy. Okay. Which, when it comes to the female side, at most times doesn't come with a joy. It comes with sadness, sorrow, cramping most of the times. Then this bleeding, which we need to know, you're scared what will happen. Can I go to the public? Most girls, when they actually begin their periods, they will not even go to the public. They want, when the periods come on, they want to stay home. So they are not yet used. Cover up, so they need to get used. Now, it is a lot of things happening now in a girl's mind. And the mother now needs to do a lot of work for her. Why? Stress is getting in there for the first time these periods are coming, which is going to be projected for the entire life until 45. Now, this is key. This is key. Okay. The mindset she's going to get when she first gets her first year in having this change in her life means a lot for her entire life until she makes 45 years when this stops. Okay. Do you understand? Yes. Because the measure it comes with also will come with a phobia that it has to happen. But of course, this thing must happen every month for the next 30 years until you make 45. Do you understand? So here we are looking at emotional support,
Okay.
the stress that comes with it. So that's why most people say, my periods have come. It is an error for them. So each particular time periods come, it is what I mentioned. Now they need emotional support more. That this is natural, this is okay, this is how you go about it. If it is cramping, we need to find a solution. This is what you're going to do for the cramping. Because if we don't solve it here, we are already traumatizing this creature for the next 30 years.
They have to go through.
Yes, and remember now they are exposed to giving birth at any time. Now the family is also scared about this happening. Now the cautiousness on a girl child increases in that home more than on a boy's child, because anytime she can create another person, the advice increases. Now the focus also increases in the home. Now they need a lot of attention here and help.
One of the things I've had, and I don't know if it's a thing that you can tell us about, the fact that a girl or a woman gets to menstruate, and that change, they call it okuchusomsai, it attributes to them living longer, because in most cases you find that most homes have grandmothers and not grandfathers. So has any of that monthly visit got to do with anything with living longer?
Yeah, there are so many factors that the researchers that have come up, there are so many factors they are looking at that is helping a woman live longer. But yes, that can also be one of the factors, but there are other better factors to prove that.
Okay.
One, the existence of a woman in life is more submissive to a man taking care of her. So the stress factors for that creature are less than exposed to a man. So the man's life is a stressful life from the day he begins to have responsibility. Even when you're beginning from home, what they tell you from, you're not doing the hard work home, you're not responsible for the house. So all that period of time, a man is exposed to extreme pressure, which is not with the female, because of course you'll be catered for home. You know how you're treated home by the dad, by the mom, by the relatives. You are the weak vessel home, so you give me that attention. No, all of that favor usually makes this
Can be able
to live long. But also this factor is important, that if the two people involved maybe with HIV, they say that when they menstruate, they're going to lose some of the virus during the menstruation. So there are so many times that this works as a detoxification every month. So we females will go through a detoxification every month, but it also exposes them to the factor that they have less blood than the males. But they add it to saying that whenever they go for this menstruation, they detoxify their body, losing a lot of maybe toxins within their body, which is not with the what? With a male.
We shall leave it at that. Go for a short break. When we return, now we'll look at the male. We'll look at them, what happens at the development stage. Remember, this is Dr. Kabanda, and it is all about the journey to 100. Do you want to live to 100? We'll be back after this short break.